going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? It's DC, another episode of Deconstructive Thoughts. As you notice, I'm not using stories for today on Instagram, but I had to get a story. I had to get a rant in this outfit. It ain't much. I ain't saying it's all that, but I just like the simplicity of it. Y'all want to see it? I want to see it. You know, just simple. You know, light blue jeans and, you know, light blue button down, jean-like material, gray shirt, you know what I'm saying? And I had I know y'all tired of my same old thirsty J's, but, you know, it just go well with it. Until I get the ball in. Like, it's going to be these shoes until I get the ball in. Like, I just got to get used to it, man. Like, I don't got it all figured out. But I'm definitely on a good path. I definitely feel good about this time and era. But you had to get it. I mean, because it was just like the blue in it is just going well with everything. So, you know, I ain't fly. I ain't fresh. You know, so I was definitely, you know, going around today, just kind of feeling in my zone. I'm working out, building muscle. You know, if you look at my older videos, I'm a whole lot skinnier in my older videos than I am now. Men hit the gym. Today, I want to talk about a very interesting topic, and we may be on here for about 30 minutes talking about this, because this is just what I do. Like I said, I didn't even get to record that video. That rant. Now that was a real good rant. It wasn't a real good rant. It was alright. I was basically just saying that, you know, I'm not in the business of telling people what to do and how to do it. I'm in the business of telling people what they get from who they're being. You know, when they want a particular outcome and they're not getting it. So, because I mean, the fact is, and it's probably good because I was saying a whole lot of curse words on that one. Because the fact is, you can't be who you want to be and get what you want unless who you are gets what you want. Play that back a couple times and understand what I'm saying. If who you are matches the results that you're looking for, right? So let's take it for example. If I'm a gamer, right, and all I do is play games most of my days, right? And like in a certain video I said, I mean, we only have 24 hours in a day. We sleep, right, for 8 hours on average. So we have 16 hours. We work for 8 hours. So we have 8 hours, and we have commute and errands, you know, so we really have like about 5 or 6 hours to commit to our passion, what we want to do, this, that, and the other, whoop-de-whoop, all right? So what we do with those 5, if I'm a gamer and that's all I do with my 5 hours, not including my weekend, right, I can't expect to be built like this. You see what I'm saying? But if I'm someone who likes to run, who likes to do calisthenics for fun, and I want to be like this or better, then I'm gonna get that. So you can't. So let's dig into it now. Now that we got our introduction in, let's get into it. So I think what a lot of everybody is struggling with is learning how to attract the other sex. The next video I want to do, if I don't incorporate it in this one, is, never mind, I'll say that for later. But how do we attract the other sex? And I am a believer of Yeshua, Jehovah, God, I believe in Christ, right? I believe in the commandments and their importance of keeping them. But I believe the commandments are the recipe for a life of peace. I do believe that Jesus did die for our sins. I believe that righteousness is a gateway to virtue and power, but it is not required to enter into heaven. What's required to enter into heaven is that you receive Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Other than that, that's why I'm letting that be known. So when I talk about these certain things, y'all not trying to skew my stance on particular things I say. So, especially when I'm talking about sex, right? Because in reality, we know that people are having sex. All right, people are having sex outside of marriage. People are having sex before marriage. Like it's no secret. The cat's out the bag. Nevertheless, with the way God created us, I'm about to give y'all the keys on what it takes attracting the other sex. And no, this is not something you can do for free, man. But women, this is something that you can do for free. We're gonna get into that too as we go. So, where to start? I want to start with men. What attracts women? How do you attract a man? The mistake women make on thinking they're attracting men is thinking that their personality is everything, in a sense. And I say this because it's hard to talk because I say this, right? The thing about attraction for men and women is that, there's a reason why you see mediocre looking women with broke men. You'll never too much see mediocre women, right? I'm sorry, you'll never really much see beautiful women, right, with wealthy men. With poor men, because they have their choices. Why would they settle for that? Another thing is, like, rather male or female, everyone is always thinking, when I'm talking to my cousins, my friends, my family about this man, what their reaction is going to depend on if they're keeping this person around or not. If it's too embarrassing and it's too hard for them to defend the person that they love, unless they're truly devoted, they're not going to be treating their counterpart with the respect that they need. They're going to be dumping that person soon, or putting them in the friend zone because you're embarrassing me. I can't talk about you without being embarrassed, right? But there's really no mistakes that women make in attracting a man besides thinking that they are attractive. Sometimes they think that they're more attractive than they actually are. Or they believe that confidence is everything, right? And women, I'm just letting you know right now, confidence will not sway a man with options. It will not sway a man with options. The man that you really are attracted to, that you think is handsome, smells good, has nice clothes, has a car, a job, a career going on for himself. He's resourceful. He's well known. He has a great network. He's not swayed by your confidence. He is swayed. Men are swayed by curiosity, right? So when a man finds himself initially attracted to a woman, right, we kind of grown now to know the boundaries, so we kind of stay out the way. But what triggers our curiosity is, a little touch here, and things that you say and how you say it. when you're giving us clues on certain things, pretty much things that make us think, does she like me? I think she likes me, right? When a man can tell that a woman doesn't like him or is not attracted to him, and he's emotionally mature, right? He's just gonna kind of, stay in his place, But then you have men who are not emotionally mature, and they're needy, And they're not only because they can have all the things that they need to have, this and the other, but they. No, let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic. It's just the curiosity, women. Triggering a man's curiosity is what attracts him to you, right? When I think back when I was younger, right, in my school days, sitting close to a classmate, and I'm not reminiscing like that, all right, but sitting close to a classmate that was always sitting next to me, that was always being polite, that was always being nice, that was always laughing at my jokes, made me wonder, does she like me? You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that, you hit him on the shoulder and this, that. It's those things that engage our attraction to the next level, right? It's how trick busters get suckers, right? They make them feel like they like them, right? Because they may have all the things they want. They got the money, the research, but the fact that it's an old black or white man, they're not taking them serious. They're just busting their pockets. But they use curiosity as a weapon, right? That's free for women. That's why I say it's free for women, because all you have to do is engage curiosity. Can I? Will she let me? What do I gotta do to open this Pandora's box so I really get the full package of what I think I can get, because I think I can get it? That's plain cookie cut. So now let's move on the men's side. Men, how are we attracting women? You have to understand that it's not your personality. It's not that you buy them things. It's not that. It's none of that. It's none of that. It's not the It's not that you buy her things. It's not that you're always spending time or around her or with her. You could be wasting your time, and she has you just wholeheartedly in the friend zone. The only reason why she's keeping you around because every now and again you endorse, lunch. So she gets a free meal that she don't spend. Women don't like spending their money. They'll make money all day, but they hate spending their own money, right? Because women are survivors. They're survivors. We are thrivers. They're survivors. So, just like a bear hibernates and eats as much as they can and sleep on it, they don't want to work anymore. They're just going to sleep on it. Men are thrivers. We're more like lions. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. You can't stop, right? Men, we often are making the mistake that, all right, maybe if I dress up good this time, or this, that, and the other, or a lot of times a man's insecurity gets to him around other competition. It's competitive. Our engagement with women is just like the wild. We're bucks. If you don't have no antlers to fight the other bucks off, then you're going to lose. All right? How many times have I, took girls to the club just to, watch them run off on other dudes. But the thing was, I wasn't really tripping. They lived around the corner. I'm here for a good time. I can drive them up there. You know what I'm saying? And I was even a little tricky, right? I was going to get them a little hookah, a little food. You know what I'm saying? So they was going to stay in my area, eat, smoke a little bit, vibe. and then just go do your last. And that was just my vibe. Like, I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool, because I got people that I'm there for too, that I'm vibing with. You know, I'm supporting the DJ. I'm supporting the bar, like, especially if it's like a small business. Like, I'm there for support. You know what I'm saying? And these are like friends to me. Like, I already knew what my place was. I already knew I wasn't trying to get no cooler. Like, from one I got cooler from, but other ones, like, I may have wanted cooler, but I wasn't really sitting there stressing it, because, man, that's the most important thing. I gotta stop stressing cooler so much, bro. If you don't got your bread where you need it to be, you need to do more of this. Like I said, I don't condone that because of what I believe in, but whatever. I mean, that's another rant. But you need to do more of this, and stop trying to sit here and, you know, because that's gonna sit here and sink you into a whole nother experience. You know, you're gonna sit here, get some cooler, now you invested, now you want it again, and now you have to keep investing to keep getting that cooler. It's like slots, man. You win one time, and then you start going on a losing streak, but you know you can hit again if you just hit it right, or if you do your lucky tap, or whatever it is, but you just sitting here and you spending your coin. I don't care how much money you make it. You're wasting your time. If you're not putting it back in life insurance, investments, if you're not putting it back in businesses, if you're not putting it back in yourself, self-care, if you're not putting it back in going vacation, if you're not putting it back in your kids, if you got kids, you need to sit back and do some more of this. Go to sleep, wake up, and pursue your dreams. Because until you're at where you really need to be at and satisfied, ain't no time to chase no cooler. It's a liability. It's going to cost you more than it's going to pay you. So, man, what attracts women, right? It's kind of a two-factor thing, because I don't know how to put it into one word. But it's like a castle. I love myself. Thank you, Lord. Right? It's like a castle. What they're attracted to, right, is security and a pedestal. If when they are with you, they feel secure. When I say secure, it's more like an emotional security, first off, where if other girls see me with them and they talk about anything, they ain't gonna say nothing but something good, because they are worried about what other people say about them. So again, it's like I told for the girls, they ain't bring no broke boy home. But what are they saying? What are the girls saying when you pull up? Do they want to be with you? I mean, it's been times where, okay, brought my girls up to the club one time. Boom, pretty cool night. Got them set up, got the hookah, got them some wings. You know, I take my lion's share. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'ma eat. Cause that's just one thing. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck and a bean with you. That's just one thing I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna look like a full-blown trick out here. Cool. Get these wings. I ain't got a problem with looking like a trick, like a trick either, because ain't nothing wrong with tricking if you got it. If you ain't got it, you can't trick. So don't tell me it ain't tricking if you got it, because if you ain't got it, you can't trick. So, they all set up and everything. We can't come in and everything, and they think they about to chow down, but before they chow down on me, I'm not trying to do it in a dominant area, like, get me, nah, give me my wing, give me a couple wings. I'm chilling. Go ahead. Keep my fries. Shoot my drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit here and buy some other girls some shots, right? From that's from around the way. And I did all those things for psychological reasons. So one, they ain't feel like they over here tricking me off. So if they sitting there talking to anybody else about how they busting my pockets, they gonna see how when they, because it's more psychology, the girls I was on looking on, knowing there's some motion going on around here, right? They knowing it's this, they getting fed, they got the vibes, they got the hookah. So they kind of begin to flock around and see what else he gonna do. Is he gonna give me some? That's security. You see what I'm saying, man? So, shoots, I started vibing with the other girls. It's kind of like a little selective. Not all of them. Not trying to. Nah, man, vibe with somebody. Yeah, we vibing. We vibing. Man, get her a shot. Get her a shot. Get her friend a shot. What do you mean you don't drink? You see what I'm saying? And so, boom, they get shots, and now they looking all sideways and trying to make their wings and hookah look important now because they getting a little attention. But all they getting is shots. Like, you gotta do some like serious math here, because they didn't get no daiquiris yet or anything. They just had wings and hookah, so they ain't getting influenced, but they are. So now you got them wrapped in, and now you're somebody different, because ain't no guys coming in here tricking off because they scared to trick. They scared to be seen as a trick. All right, so it's the security and the pedestal that attracts women. But the secret is that there has to like seem like there's some code to crack it. You can't be just so like first time they look at you and you just I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm goofy. But, and it's not that I pride this all, but it was my character. It was who I was. That was DC Nasty. You know what I'm saying? It's DC Dynasty now. You know what I'm saying? Often on the better things now. I'm not saying like I still don't, it ain't like I still don't like to go out for a good time. And it all depends, because I made a commitment, y'all, to ministry, and I'm seeing where that takes me in the long run. It's not that I regret it, but it's just that it comes with some adjustments, and I'm really trying to live on purpose and not just pleasure. But anyway, I'm giving y'all some good game regardless. So it's the security and the pedestal. And mind you, I had these same busted shoes when I was doing it. Same busted shoes, car full of women, going to a club, entertaining women. If I had it, because there was days I didn't have it. There was days I was broke up there, and breaking them off my last because it was tradition. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna get it right back somewhere, but that ain't good ethic. I promise you. I'm not trying to praise that move either, because that's not good ethic. But that's just where I was. I wasn't moving nowhere. I ain't have a plan yet, so it's like, what else I'm gonna do with this besides spending it anyway? So until there's a plan and there's a move I can actually make with this amount coming around, I don't care, you know. But now that I found a move that I can make on, now I'm a little bit more conservative. I ain't been out in like 2 months. I ain't been out in like 2 months, 2.5 months. You know, so yeah, man. It's that simple. If you want to attract a woman, you know, you have to provide security. You have to provide that security, and you have to provide that pedestal. Right? Being around you makes them more important. Being around them shouldn't make them less important or equally important. It should make them more important. Now, for a closer, let me talk to my women one more time. Ladies, sometimes it does come to a point where you're talking to somebody and it's not as fulfilling when you talk about this person to your cousins, your friends, and your family, because, you know, they might have a little giggle here because he ain't all that. But, you know, if he honest working man, sometimes these men out here are good men, but they need your boundaries. They need your boundaries and enforcement with your femininity. Let me say that again. They need your boundaries with your enforcement with your femininity. What does that mean? What that means is your boundaries. Are your boundaries, right? Keep your cooler. I understand. As adults, you may have it a couple times here, but you know, start to put a bar on that cooler, like boundaries. Boundaries on time. You can't always see this man. He's not always accessible, right? Because if you're always accessible, he's never going to focus on his goals. If you're always linking up with him, he's never going to reach his goals. But if you're not always linking with him, he's thinking of ways to get you out. Right? Now he's thinking, okay, maybe that cheap hookup ain't working no more. I gotta do something bigger. So let me go hustle harder so I can go take her out or something. Let me go hustle harder so I can take her out to a better place. 'Cause I know she was like this. Right? And so that's the boundaries of time. Right, boundaries of physicality is obviously what I'm talking about, but keep your femininity there. Still keep your softness, your love, your attention, your soft voice accessible. Let's say, so like that's not where we going. Be engaged intimately without being engaged sexually. Right, learn how to use intellectual intimacy. Right? So that's the boundaries. And so when I talk about the enforcement, your enforcement comes through this. You have to be busy about what he needs to be doing. He needs to be working. He needs to be grinding. He needs to be hustling. So that means instead of being accessible all the time, the enforcement is, I would love to be with you right now, but I gotta go to work. I gotta get some money. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that. Because in a man's nature, when a woman is performing better than he is, it's his natural duty now from that point to really step up. Now he has to dig a little deeper and really match and outdo your hustle. It's not a competition for him. It's just that he knows he has to be your provider, and he knows he has to do better than what he's given right now. This is some real good game, y'all. I'm like, this is my special. I talk about relationships. I don't know why I talk about relationships. I think God just gave me that knack for it. I was a lover boy when I was growing up. I was one, but a hopeless lover boy because I had no game. I didn't have no security for him. I ain't had no pedestal from him. I was just a mediocre dude. So I was known by a lot of people, loved by a lot of people, but I just wasn't all there. Like I didn't have the flyest shoes, or I always had the wrong shoes. Like I had those. Jordan, which one was it? I don't know all these J's and everything, but I wasn't a big sneakerhead. I had those spinner shoes because I thought they were cool. In middle school, those spinner shoes with the spinning rims, like, bro, I had things that I thought were cool. So I wasn't really that guy, but I wanted that girl all the time, but really couldn't get them. And there was times that I did get the girl, but since I didn't provide her the pedestal and the security, I got put on the back burner real quick. There was one that really loved me and held me down, but that's because she was a average look. I'm not reminiscing like that, but I'm just stating the facts. She was an average looking person. Like I said, when you have average looking people can be with average dudes. Average looking women can be with average dudes. It's not too embarrassing for them. You know what I'm saying? But it can be. Just depending on their social class, where they at, or who they talking to. Because if they got, average friends too, then they doing better than them. But if they got better friends, then they looking at her like, okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I told you I was gonna be a 30-minute talk. I told y'all, 29 minutes and 52 seconds. But, and I'm literally just at the end. Like, when y'all hear me talking like this and then just rambling on stories at this point, just circling around my point, it's point in case. Women, you have to stay intact with your femininity. Men, you have to stay intact with your masculinity. Because the next video, we're going to talk about how to deal with women during their period. I'm just going to say it straight up. You have to keep your masculine manhood during her period. Because yes, she's acting, yes, she's cutting up, and we thinking that men talking about, man, women have attitudes and they have a period. That's their period, brother. You wonder why they nice to you for a couple of weeks and then all of a sudden they just snappy about everything. You think they disrespecting you and talking back and everything. They're on their period. So I give myself that rant, that conversation. I started to write down notes and follow along, but I feel like I got that out exactly the way I needed to get it out. Again, you know, I think shout out to the fit, you know, and notice that the fit, you know, it got some paint on it, right? It got some paint on it because I was painting in these one day when I was working with my friend and everything, but I still thought it was kind of cool, like not cool, like, oh man, do some more of that and that's great. But now it's just enough accent, you know, to really pop it off, man. Y'all see my chest kind of popped out in there? You see my chest? Yeah, finally got past the bird chest because I was a little bit flatter than it. I mean, you don't really see it, but it was a whole lot fatter than this, trust me. But yeah, man, that's that on that, you know. So like, follow, subscribe if you enjoyed this conversation. Share with a friend. Have the conversation with a friend, you know, or don't. Just try what I'm talking about. Man, you can't just try this of what I'm talking about. You got to go get some bread. You got to go get some bread. You got to go get some bread. Stop chasing that cooler. Do some more of this. Go to sleep. Wake up and go get some freaking bread. Because, or instead of doing this, read the Bible. Get some meditation going on. Talk to yourself. Talk to God by talking within yourself. Right? That means talk to yourself nice. Right? Because if we believe God is who God really is, and we believe that He's inside of us, you ain't gonna talk to Him crazy. Because if you're gonna talk to Him crazy, you're talking to you crazy, and you're disrespecting yourself. The Bible says you gotta love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, how in the heck you gonna know how to love your neighbor? Right? So therefore, again, talk to yourself nice. Learn to love yourself. Love God by loving yourself. Right? Don't love yourself in vanity and think that it's all you doing. It's your power, it's your strength, it's your good looks, and it's you with the steeds, man. God blessed you with it, because if God didn't create it in the first place, you wouldn't have the opportunity. You didn't ask to be here. You didn't put yourself here, but you are here, right, by the grace of God. Keeping the buck in the vein with you, man. So, again, like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one.